We are now on to the Start Strong segment of the program where we discuss how to give babies a strong start in life. And in the studio with me is
Malam Aliu Hassan.
Malam Aliu is a lecturer with Nutrition and Dietetics Department, Kaduna Polytechnic. Today, he will be sharing with you an important part of Start Strong called early initiation. So welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Will you explain early initiation and what it has to do with Start Strong?
Well, the other time we were here, we discussed a lot about Start Strong. One of the components we touched was the initiation of breastfeeding. And then let us actually look at it clearly. What is even initiation of breastfeeding? And what timing do we need to make to achieve the desired objectives? We said the moment a child comes out from the womb, the first thing the health workers need to do is to clean the baby. When you clean the baby, then the next thing the health worker will do is to place the baby on the mother's chest. Placing the baby on the mother's chest allow bonding to start immediately. Between the mother and the child. We know that God actually created a child with a lot of senses. It has a very good eyes sense that can quickly memorize and know the mother. Anytime you place, because the brain is so clean that it's just like a clean cloth, nothing touches it. The moment the first people you begin to see, you remember them throughout his life. So you remember that, okay, this is the mother. The child also have a very good sense of hearing that it recognizes the voice. When the mothers, because most of the times the mother feel happy and begin to talk to the child, even when the child is placed on her chest. She does that maybe because she was happy, and the child begin to recognize the voice. Even when the mother is not in that room much later, and the mother talks, the child recognizes the voice. The next thing that comes is the sense of smell. The child has a very good sense of smell. Smell because he can smell the milk. The moment you place the child on the chest, the child on his own, if you see the video, if you see where that things act occur, you understand with me. The child on his own will moving around to actually see where the breast is. Despite the child that the eyes is closed, will moving around, and because the child also have a good sense of smell, he perceives the smell of the milk. The next thing that goes is the child has also good sense of taste. The moment the child, the lips, the breast, the tip get into the child's mouth, he quickly grabs and then suck. The first thing that comes is the milk, and the child understands the taste of the milk, and he continues. That continuation, sometimes you realize that, if in our community before, there is what they used to call washing of the breast. In outside they call it wanking nono. Okay, what they do at that particular point is to wash away the first set of milk that comes out.
That's even my next question too.
Okay.
Some believe that this first milk called colostrum, some believe that it is dirty, therefore they throw it away. So what will you say about it?
Okay, the outside people call it dakashi. It looks dirty, brownish. It is dirty because from their own perspective, otherwise it is not dirty. It's a very clean immunity that the God is giving to the child. At that point, where you look at it changing from the breast milk, one, it has a growth factor contained in it. One, it has vitamin A in it, and most of the vitamin A is not white. It has a little bit. It has a little bit of color. It has some white cells in it, and it has antibodies in it. Look at all these things put together. These things are put together for the benefit of the child, so that the child will start strong. It's starting strong because that intestinal lining of the child is now at least cultured to be able to accept food that is coming in even after the breast milk. And then the intestine, the allergy, the child again is protected against allergy, against intolerance of subsequent food that may comes in. The child gets immunity, which most of the time we refer to as vaccine from that breast cholesterol. The child again get the protective from infections, from other infections that may come. Why? Because the child is already immunized, and the child tends to start very strong on strong footing. It's starting very strong footing because even if there are other contaminants that comes in, already the child has some degree of immunity and is starting very strong. That is one good thing about what initiating a child with the first set of breasts that come from the mother, and subsequently continue to do that.
So you talk about putting the baby to the breast of the mother. So why is it important to put the baby in the first 1 hour?
The importance is what we are discussing, so that the child can get the benefit of taking the cholesterol. By the time you don't put it in the first 1 hour, then there's going to be likely going to be problem, because the mother, particularly the community members, we encourage her to wash out the breast, and which is not actually what we are targeting. What we are targeting is for the child to start very strong, and for the child to start very strong nutritionally, you must have that immunity from the cholesterol.
So what about the situations where the milk doesn't come out within the first hour? What happened to the babies? Do they miss out the cholesterol?
That rarely happened. It is just our perception that the milk will not come out. The moment you place a child and the child starts suckling, there is connection between that breast side and then the brain of the mother, and you send signal for the breast to start to release milk for the child. And by the time the child continues to suck, you are going to have enough milk flow from that mother.
So, sir, what about mothers who have twins or triplets? Would there be enough colostrum to go around all of them? Will they be able to start strong?
One good thing that actually we need is the knowledge and the enlightenment. What we need to do when you have more than one birth, you have two triplets or so, interchange them. All of them should have suck as they suck, one after the other. All of them are going to benefit from that cholesterol.
So what are the benefits of early initiation, and why should every mother demand for early initiation?
Well, the benefit of early initiation is much, and then the mother needs to actually demand for that which she is enlightened. Why? Because there is benefit to the mother, there is benefit to the child, and then there is benefit to the community. You see, the children should start strong when he has that cholesterol, and then he has a good head to start with. Then we talk about the child feel warm, because the connection, as I told you, the moment you place the child, normally most children actually shiver, but by the time there is contact between them and the mother, they really does that, and they stays very well. The children will be immune against all the infections, as we said, and that actually is a very good start. And then the risk of diarrhea, because the immunity is there, the gut has been properly set, then infections will not actually be there. And then even if you consume certain food that are not too good, the actually protection is there from the child. And most of the time when you are breastfeeding, the moment you actually clean your hand, and then you are not introducing any dirt to the breast, and for the first 6 months you are using only breast milk to feed your child, the child rarely gets that infection we're talking about, and diarrhea is very minimized. If you observe very well, this diarrhea we're talking about, the child is free from diarrhea. It's the moment you start introducing things other than breast milk to the child, you begin to notice that. Why? Because of, particularly if a child does not actually start with a cholesterol, it doesn't start strong, then definitely we are going to experience that issue of diarrhea and if possible vomiting. But if a child starts strong with cholesterol, that protection will be there, and you actually see minimum cases of diarrhea with such children. And then there is higher chances of surviving very well, a higher chance of surviving very well for that child. And we say it helps mothers to actually lactate well. Why? Because as you continue to suck the breast always, the mother continues to lactate very well. And that initial point we're talking about, by the time the child sucks, it actually reduces the amount of blood the mother lost. That is one. It also facilitates the expulsion of placenta. So we see that's your advantages for initiating starting strong with early initiation.
Wow, this information is very educative and powerful. So who needs to know about early initiation?
In fact, everybody. The mother needs to know. In fact, the will-be mother needs to know, because that is the best thing that we need to do. The will-be mother, that is why it is very important to actually disseminate this information, even to school settings, where girls are, where boys are. The parents need to know about this. The pregnant woman needs to know about it. The husband needs to know about it. The in-laws, both the father and the mother-in-laws need to know about it. The community leaders, both religious and cultural leaders, need to know about it. The policymaker needs to know about it, because it is when all these people need to know about it that they support the mother to do the needful. For instance, if the community members, including in-laws, knows about it, and the woman go to deliver from the labor room, they are the one to actually tell the nurse, have you placed her on her chest? Why? Because they know that is the most important thing that the child needs at that particular point.
So So does this mean skipping any part of this segment of population you have mentioned will affect the baby to start strong?
Definitely, any segments that you actually withdraw from this lineup I made will surely affect, directly or indirectly, affect the child. The policymaker has to make a lot of policy. Disseminating this information will require the support of government. Sometimes, by the times those that actually initiate want to leave, definitely they need to come in to continue to support, because it is not only actually advantageous to that community, to that mother. No, it is entire nation that we're talking about. When you have a lot of children that get sick the most, visit hospital, that drains the pocket of the government. And what do we expect? By the time people sick less, they attend health facility less. They don't actually, government doesn't spend much money on it. There is money to mend our road. There is money to build schools. There is money to do other things by government. But by the time government leave it alone and policymaker leave it alone, that it is issue of the community, then they have not done the right thing.
This is really an eye-opener. So if our listeners have questions and require more information, where do they contact and where do they go?
It's very simple. There are helplines. The helplines, let me start by with this first one: 081 77 343 11. Again, 081 77 34 311. Another helpline is 090 511 69105. 090 511 69105.
Thank you very much, sir. Aliyu Hassan, a lecturer with nutritionist and dietetics department, Kaduna Polytechnic. This has been very helpful, and we believe our listeners have learned a lot about early initiation of breastfeeding and how it helps babies to start strong. We look forward to having you again in our studio soon.
Thank you. Anytime.